What is up, people? Hello and welcome back to the channel for another tips and predictions video. It's the final day of the group stage in the Champions League, which is sure to dial up some spicy fixtures. So since my last video, I have managed to increase the roll by a few units, but I've been mixing up with other sports over here in the US. For now, we'll keep it to the footy. So let's get the likes up for the final day of Champions League. Subscribe if you're new, of course. Thanks for being here. And let me know what you think about the Champions League matchups in the comments below. Always remember, wait for the lineups. Can't say it enough. And of course, gamble responsibly out there, people. Alrighty, let's get into it. Aston Villa hosting Celtic. 9th place for Aston Villa, 18th place for Celtic in a clash of two teams already qualified for the next round. However, Villa will want to make the top 8 and snag that bye. The same isn't technically out of reach for Celtic, but they would need lots and lots of goals and a massive win, which leads me to think that Brendan Rodgers won't unleash the Kraken in desperation, but will go to Villa knowing a positive result does them wonders in the draw. Kasper Schmeichel to get saves or combine the keepers if your app allows to do so is probably a good bet. Of course, watch for the lineups, but Watkins and Duran are going to get shots on target. Perhaps Bailey if he starts on the other side. So those are your offensive producers. Celtic did record an impressive draw in Bergamo against a strong Atalanta side, but the hosts were wasteful that night, and I don't expect the Claret and Blues to be the same. So your safe bet will be the Aston Villa money line, and your feeling froggy bet will be the Villa money line. Watkins or Duran to have a shot on target, and Kasper Schmeichel to get 3+ saves. Next up, it's Barcelona versus Atalanta, 2nd place versus 7th place in about a very good teams this season. Barcelona have already clinched top 8, so you definitely want to wait for lineups again because we won't know how strong they're going to go. Atalanta, on the other hand, could still drop into that 9-16 range and miss the bye, so we'll want to win this game. Lewandowski is nailed on for a shot on target, and Retegui, if he starts, will be the same. The money line is a bit tough to call in this one, even though Barca have been menacing as the highest scorers in Champions League group stage. Atalanta's defense is only bettered by 3 teams, however, so this should be a fantastic game. Your safe bet's going to be both teams to score because Barcelona have shipped 11 goals in 7 games despite scoring 28. And your feeling froggy bet is both teams to score, Lewandowski with the shot on target and Retegui with the shot on target. Bayer Leverkusen hosting Sparta Prague. Xabi Alonso's men are gonna win this one. Prague are eliminated and Leverkusen need to win to get a break in the first round. 13 points will not be enough to do that. In fact, I doubt 14 will be either. That means they will be coming for it. I believe Schick will be starting up top if last game is anything to go by, and I expect a shot on target or 2 from him, as well as shots from Florian Wirtz. The over should be on in this one as well because you won't get any value on the money line. So your safe bet's going to be over 2.5. And your feeling froggy bet will be Schick to get a shot on target, Wirtz to get 2+ shots, and over 2.5 goals. Bayern Munich are hosting Bratislava. Bayern are going to wreck shop. They need it to at least make the 9-16 category. Slovan are eliminated and have not even drawn a game, 7 losses, leaving them in dead last. You want to wait for the lineups, but I think Harry Kane is going to have a field day. 2 shots on target for sure. Anytime goal scorer if you're feeling froggy. Jamal Musiala will have 2 shots, I'd imagine, as well. Take your pick, really. It could be a goal fest. So your safe bet is going to be over 3.5 and Harry Kane to have 2+ shots on target. Your feeling froggy bet will be over 3.5, Harry Kane to score, and Musiala to have 2 shots. Moving right along, Dortmund versus Shakhtar Donetsk. Due to the way the fixtures have ended up, despite still having a chance statistically, Shakhtar need an 8-0 win and then some, meaning they are not going to qualify. They don't have any other games currently, so they'll definitely bring everything they have anyways. Meanwhile, Dortmund are on a terrible run without a win in 5 games, including a shock loss to promoted side Holstein Kiel. I think they will struggle in this game despite needing a win to make it into the first basket in the draw. I'm not confident in the Dortmund money line, even though I would expect them to win. They've given up at least 2 goals in the last 5 games, however, so I think they will concede again in this one. Your safe bet's going to be both teams to score, and your feeling froggy bet is that Dortmund money line. Already, everybody's favorite team, Brest, are hosting Real Madrid. Remarkably, Madrid and Brest are essentially in the same spot in the table. They both need a win to move up and have a chance to be amongst the higher seeds. I do expect the Madridistas to get the win in spite of some serious performance from the French side in this competition so far. It is Carlo's tournament, so if they decide they're going to wreck worlds, then I expect that to happen. Over 3.5 is nailed on in Madrid games. They have hit 5 goals in 4 of the last games, and they've also conceded in every one of those matches. Mbappe was down the middle last time out, so expect him to have offensive numbers along with Vinny. Of course, wait for those lineups just to see who's in, but your safe bet is going to be over 3.5. You're feeling froggy bet as the Madrid money line, Mbappe 2 shots on target, and over 3.5. Dinamo Zagreb are hosting AC Milan, who are a bit of a dramatic slice of pie this season, what with their erratic form and the new coach, but their quality still tends to shine through more often than not. We're definitely going to want to see who starts on this one as well for your fantasy numbers. Zagreb are not awesome. In the end, the quality difference in the squads was the main gap between Arsenal and Zagreb in the last game, and if Milan are even a bit clinical, they will smash Zagreb. Statistically, they can still get through, but because of the fixtures, they do not have a shot, in my opinion. Again, they would need a crazy win over Milan that I just don't see coming. So your safe bet is going to be AC Milan money line, and I don't think you're really going to get any value of anything else on this one. Alrighty, Girona hosting the Arsenal. I expect this one to go exactly as most Arsenal games have gone recently. Hopefully, we can avoid a red card, that being said. Generally speaking, we have been better in the Champions League this season. We'll look to keep control and have them in front of us for the majority of the game. I expect to create a chance or two that Havertz will miss. He's hit 2 shots without 1 on target in a number of games back to back to back to back. Arsenal can secure top 8 with a single point, but a draw would mean we slip down, which won't be awesome come the round of 16 draw. Girona are out completely, so they may not play their strongest side, but they also might have a bit of freedom. Arsenal should win the game, but it will be a tight, low-scoring affair. Only one of the last 5 games for either team has hit 4 goals. Thus, your safe bet is under 3.5. You feeling froggy bet's going to be the Arsenal money line, under 3.5, and Havertz to have 2 shots. Inter Milan hosting Monaco. It will not be great for Monaco should they lose this one, but unfortunately, Inter are very strong and are essentially in the same spot as Arsenal. Inter will win this one and most likely get the shutout. I expect it to be a low-scoring affair. Inter can rack up the goals, but they do not necessarily need to win by a lot, and their defense is absolutely superb. And we have seen that Monaco are not the best finishers, especially not in Champions League this competition. So your safe bet will be the Inter money line. Your feeling froggy bet is the Inter money line and under 3.5 goals. Juventus hosting Benfica, who can technically still be eliminated as far as the statistics go, but Paris playing Stuttgart has helped pretty much everyone at the bottom immensely. However, should something crazy happen, like a Paris draw, combined with Sporting and City wins, Benfica could be on the outside looking in for that last spot in the table, which means they are going to come for it against a miserly Juventus side who have only lost their first game in the league this season at the weekend. Benfica have been scoring goals, but Juve do not let them in. Only 5 goals allowed in the Champions League all campaign. Juve need to win as well to avoid being in the last pot for the draw, so they will both be at it. This could be a good one, but I expect Juventus to shut them down, get their goal, and frustrate Benfica with possession. All this to say, safe bet, under 3.5. Your feeling froggy bet is under 3.5, and Juventus money line. Lille versus Feyenoord is one of the biggest games of the match week, both on 13 points. Feyenoord have a goal advantage in the goal difference column, but they are the away side. Both have put up some very impressive scorelines thus far and will feel they have a shot at the top 8. Lille, however, are on shaky form in the last 5, with Feyenoord coming off the back of blanking Bayern 3-0. This is tasty. I expect goals. I expect some high-octane offense. Both teams to score as a lock, and I expect this to smash the over as well. So your safe bet's going to be both teams to score. Your feeling froggy bet is both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. Manchester City hosting Club Brugge. Here it is. Pep and City could actually not make the knockout phase of the Champions League after winning 2 seasons ago. Of all the things that have happened to them this season, this would be the absolute worst. Now, circumstances are in their favor. They're at home versus opposition they should be handling on their patch, and the teams in front of and around them are all playing each other. The Paris versus Stuttgart fixture literally saves City's bacon, assuming they can save their own with a result. But if they don't, if they show up with arrogance and entitlement and did not win this game, whoo, that's it essentially. Win the game and you're in. Don't win and you're out. So they know what they have to do. Club Brugge find themselves in an interesting spot as well. If they get pumped in Manchester, there is a world where they go out on goal difference. A Benfica draw, a PSG and Stuttgart draw, as well as a Sporting positive result, coupled with a 4-goal loss, will send them out of the tournament. So they will show up knowing that they have to avoid a heavy defeat. Brugge did press Juve high and were able to fashion a few chances of their own, which makes me think it will be way spicier than Pep and the gang want. However, that was at home. I do expect a Man City win, but I'm not extremely confident. I do expect them, however, to concede. That means your safe bet is going to be both teams to score. Your feeling froggy bet is the Man City money line. PSV Eindhoven versus Liverpool. PSV are in an interesting spot. Once again, the other fixtures and results will most likely be their saving grace. I actually don't expect Liverpool to play their strongest side. First or second doesn't really matter to them, especially since they got Bournemouth away on Saturday, who've been taking scalps left and right at home this season. Unless they get smashed and all the other results go against them, they will be fine. I also don't think a win gets them into the 9-16 category. That makes this game devilishly tricky to call. I'm kind of expecting a dead game, so might leave it alone. Therefore, I'm not going to call any bet safe, but your feeling froggy bet is both teams to score. Alrighty, Red Bull Salzburg hosting Atletico Madrid. So technically this one shouldn't matter, but Atletico could drop out of the top 8 with a reverse here. Lucky for them, Salzburg are eliminated already and have been on the back of some bad results, not to mention they haven't resumed their season in Austria yet. Madrid will come for it since they aren't guaranteed a bye into the round of 16, and Salzburg have given up 23 goals this term while only scoring 4. Meanwhile, Madrid have been miserly. Look for goals and a Madrid win in this one. Your safe bet is the Atletico money line. Your feeling froggy bet is the Atletico money line and over 2.5 goals. Sturm Graz v Leipzig, as well as Young Boys versus Red Star Belgrade, are irrelevant, which is why we've already spent as much time on them as we will here. I'm not even going to mess with those games. And that only leaves 2 massive games still to talk about. Stuttgart hosting Paris Saint-Germain. We've finally come to the fixture that controls the fate of so many others at the bottom of the table. The loser of this game is almost certainly out. Everyone expects City to beat Brugge, which would doom the loser of this game. In fact, there is a world where a draw here could see Stuttgart go out if City, Sporting, and Benfica all win. That makes this the spiciest fixture on the list. Despite a disappointing reverse last time out at Mainz, Stuttgart put 4 wins on the bounce together before that, which elevated them to 4th in the Bundesliga currently. Likewise, Paris have won 4, then drew their last match. PSG aren't awesome in the champs as we've seen, and this will have massive pressure on them. They'll be coming for blood. Expect goals. On paper, Paris should win this game, but their away form in the Champions League has left plenty to be desired. With everything on the line, I expect fireworks. Your safe bet is both teams to score. Your feeling froggy bet is both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. Sporting hosting Bologna. The dynamics at the bottom are interesting for Sporting, whereas their opponent Bologna are eliminated. Sporting cannot lose this game, though. A loss is tempting fate because a draw between Paris and Stuttgart combined with a City win would see the Portuguese side go out if they lose to go with it. Gyökeres should be raring to go to see his team over the line as well, which means they will be bringing the heat. Not sure how Bologna will approach this one. They do have Como at the weekend, which shouldn't mean they'll be resting players, but already being eliminated, I'm unsure of the side they will put out. The Italian team are strong defensively, but with nothing to play for, I do expect Lisbon to pull this one out. I don't expect many goals, though, as Bologna's performance will be tough to predict. Your safe bet is the Sporting money line. Your feeling froggy bet is Sporting money line. Gyökeres 1+ shot on target. Well, that is it, folks, for the Champions League final match day. It's going to be absolutely crazy. I'm looking for goals. I'm looking for a lot of good matchups. I'm looking for an Arsenal win, of course. And we're looking for you to get the likes up on the video for another tips and predictions here at the Cup Chasers. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, of course. Thanks for being here. I want to know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Of course, remember, you do not have to group your bets, your tips the way I have them grouped, the way I make my bets. You do not have to do that. And of course, people always wait for lineups. Be sure to know who is starting before you place your bets. And gamble responsibly out there, people. You know that. Thanks again for being here. Crunke out, and so am I.